make their message.
Thank
Let's listen to the mayor.
For being here. It's an honor for me to be joined by over 20 legislators from Sacramento and from Washington, D.C. We want to make sure that everybody understands that Los Angeles is united. There's no daylight between all of us, and all of us understand that we are here today in this situation because of raids that happened in our city on Friday, and now the raids are in multiple cities within our county. I always raise the point that the day before, on Thursday of last week, everything was peaceful in Los Angeles. Nothing was happening here. Nothing was going on that warranted the behavior of the federal government over the last few days. We are here today because the raids have caused fear and panic, because they felt empowered that they could shove and cuff a U.S. senator. How could you come to town and say you are rescuing Los Angeles and you don't even know the U.S. senator? We're here today because we are clear that we are a test case, and they want to see just how far federal overreach can go. Can the federal government come in and seize power from a state and from a local jurisdiction? How much will the American people put up with? How much will Californians put up with? How much will Angelenos put up with? How much will people from all of the other 88 cities in our county put up with? And we're here to tell you that we're not going to put up with it. We're not going to solve anything by chasing people at car washes, by intimidating families near schools, or by sending troops into an American city. It breaks my heart to think about a milestone event in a family, such as a graduation from an elementary school, or from a junior high, or from a high school, and that families feel that they cannot go to the graduation. Or people in an emergency room worried that maybe they will come in and be detained. Or people in homeless shelters? What happened to the goal of violent felons, gang members? Right. What happened to that? I have a hard time believing that the day laborers who each day try to survive by getting a day's work is a threat to our city. So think about all that is going on in the world today, and then ask yourself, why, if all of these troops are deployed here, why are there more military troops in Los Angeles than in Iraq? Just think about that for a minute. So we're here today because we're not going to let anyone divide us. We're here today to show the world that the real America, what the real America is all about, what Los Angeles is all about. And Los Angeles is about diversity, is about embracing the immigrant population, is about celebrating the fact that there are sectors of our economy that frankly would not function if it was not for immigrant labor. So tomorrow across the country there will be demonstrations that are planned, but now these demonstrations we expect to be even larger because of what has happened in our city. But we do call on people over the weekend to demonstrate peacefully, to exercise your First Amendment right, to not play into the hands where it could be used as a pretext to roll out troops in our city. So let me just be clear about the truth of L.A. We are a city of almost 4 million people. So the protests, and some that have devolved into violence, understand, have taken place on about 1 square mile of this city that is 500 square miles. So be clear, L.A. is not under fire all throughout the city. You are talking about a very small part of the city and a very small number of people. The overwhelming majority of people have demonstrated peacefully. And let me at this point introduce our local Congresswoman, Sydney Kamlacher, who is here representing the House along with a number of her colleagues.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to thank the mayor for your unwavering leadership, during these challenging and unprecedented times. Thank you for bringing us here together. I am Sydney Kamlager-Dove. I am the Congresswoman for the 37th Congressional District. Many of these raids have been taking place in my district, throughout the district. I am here with colleagues from Congress, Representative Takano, Representative Chu, and Representative Torres. Mark Takano, Judy Chu, Norma Torres. So, California has the largest immigration population in this country. We are also the 4th largest economy in the world. There is a relationship between those two data points. California and Los Angeles is also the entertainment epicenter. So it is no wonder that Donald Trump brought his production to California. But it is a production of trauma. This is not about immigration reform. These agents are coming into our cities, and they are detaining U.S. citizens, they are detaining legal immigrants, and they are detaining immigrants who are going through the legal process with their status. They are running into apparel stores. They are running onto farms. They are running into diners, and they are snatching our community members, our friends, and our family members. This is not immigration reform. I have to say that. Let me also say, not only is this impacting our communities and our neighbors, it is impacting our businesses, and it is impacting this economy. Taxpayers are footing $134 million for these raids to happen because Stephen Miller made an arbitrary number of 3,000 people that he wants rounded up every single day. Agents are not giving identification. They are not showing judicial warrants. They are not inquiring to even see who it is that they are trying to detain. I thought they were looking for folks with criminal records, but it seems like they are looking for anyone they can find. That is a problem. It is also very important. This is why members of Congress are here. What is not being discussed is how this is a decoy for the hundreds of billions of dollars that Donald Trump is taking from us to cut Medicaid. It will close community clinics that are being raided. It will shut down doctors' offices and hospitals that are being raided. He is cutting educational funding for children with disabilities. He is cutting funding for our small businesses. He is cratering this economy with his taxes. And then on top of that, he is costing this city and this state tens of millions of dollars with this economic and social trauma. We are here standing in solidarity. These are members from up and down the state who have come here to say stop. Stop this madness. Stop this economic trauma. And if you are not here working lawfully and not detaining and brutalizing U.S. senators and union leaders, then you need to go immediately. With that, I would like to introduce Senate Pro Tem of the California State Senate, Mike McGuire.
Good evening. I want to take a moment to say thank you so much, Congresswoman, for your advocacy and your fight. I also want to mention Mayor Bass. Mayor Bass' steady hand has been guiding the city through some of the most tumultuous times the city and county of Los Angeles has seen in over a century. And I think we owe her a debt of gratitude for her incredible work in standing strong for the most vulnerable. And I want to say thank you so much, Mayor, and we're grateful to partner with you. I'm joined today by several senators, Senator Durazo, Richardson, Smallwood Cuevas, Menjivar, and Perez, and we are incredibly grateful for your work representing the city and county of Los Angeles. You know, it's not lost on us that it's been 60 years. 60 years since the National Guard was deployed over a governor's objection. And the last time that this type of deployment happened was to help kids walk to school in a segregated South. Fast forward to 2025, now in Los Angeles, the National Guard has been deployed to separate kids from their parents. America has faced tremendous peril over the last 248 years, and today we are at one of the most dramatic tipping points of our democracy. There is no justification in a democracy for the un-American federal siege of a great American city in this great county. Warrantless arrests, federalizing the National Guard, mobilizing federal troops on California soil, racial profiling of American citizens, detaining law-abiding residents, the lack of due process for detainees, throwing U.S. senators to the ground for speaking freely, and threatening the arrest of American governors. These aren't acts of a normal American president. These are acts of an authoritarian government, candidly acts of a thug. And let me be clear, California will never back down. We will bend to no king, and the people of California will prevail. The harder President Trump comes for the Golden State, the more unified California will be. Californians are always on the side of good, the side of justice, and the people will always win over the power of a few. And I'd like to end it right here with this and talk about our mutual aid system in the state of California. The state of California has the largest and most effective emergency response and law enforcement networks in the United States of America. And I can't be any more clear about what I'm about to say. The state stands ready to meet any and all public safety and emergency response requests from Mayor Bass and the Board of Supervisors for the County of Los Angeles. The State Office of Emergency Services has been and will continue to meet any and all needs for requests of assistance. Candidly, the mayor is working with the State Office of Emergency Services tomorrow for the marches that will be taking place across the city. And you know who knows this? President Trump. He knows that we can take care of our own, and it's time to end this siege and stand down. Otherwise, Californians will continue to stand up for our people. It is now my honor to be able to introduce the Speaker of the California State Assembly, Robert Rivas.
So California, we face one of the most challenging moments in recent memory. And not because our people are divided, but because our democracy is being tested from the very top. The Trump administration's recent actions, unilaterally federalizing and deploying our National Guard, conducting sweeping immigration raids in our neighborhoods, and now forcibly removing a sitting U.S. senator from a Homeland Security meeting. These are not just abuses of power. They are assaults on the rule of law. They are violations of decency. They are acts of desperation from a president who thrives on division, thrives on chaos, and who fears accountability. Now, let me be absolutely clear. Here in California, we are not going to be intimidated. I stand here as the first Speaker of the California State Assembly, born to immigrant farm workers. This is personal. My family came to this country from Mexico, seeking opportunity. Opportunity that they found in the agricultural fields of California. Opportunity that they found in the classrooms of our public schools and in the promise of this state. And that promise still belongs to every single Californian, no matter where they were born or how long they have been here in our state. I was recently reminded that throughout our history, from the internment of Japanese Americans to Proposition 187, to the mass deportations of the 1950s, California has weathered moments when fear was weaponized against our most vulnerable. But in every single case, we rose, we organized, we resisted, and we did it with courage, with community, and without violence. Without violence. And now, in this moment, we must do the same again. And I urge every Californian, do not take Donald Trump's bait. Do not allow his cruelty to spark chaos in our streets, here in Los Angeles and throughout our state. Local leaders, law enforcement, they're working hard to keep us safe. And we must work just as hard to keep the peace. This is a time for unity. It's a time for strength, for love of neighbor, and to every immigrant family living in fear at this moment, know this: you all belong here. You matter, and your state is fighting for you. That's why I'm proud to be here with Mayor Bass. I'm proud to be here with our congressional representatives. Proud to stand here with members of the Senate, and incredibly proud to stand here with so many of my Assembly colleagues. Tina McKinnon, Lisa Calderon, Blanca Pacheco, Rick Zabur.
So you're listening to Speaker Robert Rivas there in what sort of sounds a bit like a Democratic Party rally against President Trump. You see all of the state's top leadership there. And just from a pure politics perspective, this week is pretty important for LA Mayor Karen Bass, who at the beginning of the year clearly had a whole lot of political problems with the fires. You now see the entire Democratic apparatus kind of giving her a giant bear hug, which could be helpful to her in her re-election run going forward.
And just listening to that news conference, being reminded that this all started 1 week ago. As Mayor Karen Bass noted, Thursday, everything was peaceful. Obviously, tomorrow we have the No Kings protests around the nation, and that's going to be a whole different day. Everybody there who spoke said keep